Hi, my name is Jeremy Gledhill, and I have been working at New Dawn Technologies as an account manager for about 2 years now. I'm sure I've been working with many of you on and off about different JustWare implementations as well as trainings and pretty much anything that customers need. And it's been awesome, and I hope to work with many of you in the future, especially if you have any questions related to this webinar. So this webinar is for the purpose of teaching about eDiscovery. So the first thing we are going to talk about when it comes to eDiscovery is creating discovery packets and managing discovery in JustWare and how that all works. And then we're going to approach discovery from the JusticeWeb side of JustWare. And if you don't have JusticeWeb, it is an additional add-on you can buy for JustWare, which gives public access to JustWare. And it's very configurable, and it is based off of case involvements. So depending on who's involved on the case can see different things. And we'll dive into all of that as we go along here. You'll also notice that we have some open chat that we're doing during this webinar. So if you have specific questions as I am going through my demonstration, feel free to either ask those questions via chat, or if you're watching this video later, feel free to email those questions into support, and we will answer those as soon as we can. Alright, so what I have is my JustWare here. The first thing I am going to talk about is discovery. How do you create discovery, quote-unquote, in JustWare? And obviously, discovery is pretty broad. I've been talking to a lot of different agencies on what discovery means and how you have been handling your discovery in your office. Discovery can mean burning a CD and handing it to someone. It can mean printing off some documents and sending it to someone in the mail. When it comes to eDiscovery, we want to do things electronically. So either delivering your discovery via email, or in our case today, delivering it via JusticeWeb. And we'll talk about all these different options as we go along here. In order to set up discovery, the first prerequisite is to have a discovery packet or file packet created in your system administration. So I'm going to click on System Administration. I'm going to go to my code tables, and I'm going to go to JDA Applications and Documents. And under my documents here, you'll see that there are a couple different document types, as you may be familiar with. Under our types over here, we have a type of number 5, which is file packet. This is prerequisite number 1, which is you need to have a file type of file packet number 5, a document type of file packet. Notice I've got two I've created in here, one called medical packet, one called discovery packet. These are basically folders that you are going to be putting your discovery into, and you can name them whatever you want, and you'll see as we go through the demonstration how they correlate here. So we need to have the type of file packet, at least one type. So if you want just one called discovery packet to start off with, go ahead and create one of those. Make sure it's set to number 5. Nothing else really needs to be set up here. The next thing you need is to set up documents as read-only in terms of being able to put those into your discovery packets. When it comes to read-only documents, that means that when they're saved, they can only be opened in read-only. They can't be edited after that. So if I scroll over to the right here, I can actually drag it over. And I'm actually working in JustWare 5.10. So a few of these options have changed with the revamp of our filing cabinet. We have a column in here that is a read-only column. In previous versions of JustWare, you had the option to say never lock, lock and unlock, or always lock. So this replaces that column where you're basically saying it's either locked or it's unlocked. And in the new filing cabinet, everything is set up to be lock and unlock. So it's a lot more secure, or much less probability of errors there. So it also has to be marked as read-only. So I'm actually going to drag these columns over here to the left. So we've got some screen real estate here. Alright. So I've got my discovery packet, it's a file packet, and it's marked as read-only. Now you need discovery to go in those. Anything that is marked as read-only, so documented case, discovery document, notice that has the word discovery in it, initial discovery pricing, anything that you want to lock or anything you want in your discovery packet needs to be marked as read-only in order to go into the discovery packet, and you'll see that coming up here. Alright, so that's the prerequisite for creating a discovery packet. You have to have a file packet and you have to have locked or read-only documents. So I'm going to close out of system administration since I've got my prerequisites. Mainly we're going to be working with police car videos and mugshots today. And notice mugshot is not read-only, and you'll see why here in a second. Alright, so we've met prerequisite number 1. We have a file packet and we have documents that are set to be read-only. Our case we're going to be working on today is Yogi the Bear. So I'm going to do a search for Yogi. Here's Yogi the Bear fighting the honey badger. I can open up his case in tab details view. Alright, and then we're right in the filing cabinet of his case. So the first thing in terms of creating discovery is documents have to be in the JustWare filing cabinet. There is no other way from a JustWare standpoint to manage your discovery than inside of JustWare. That means if you have another file share somewhere else and you want to send discovery from there through JusticeWeb, those files have to be in the JustWare filing cabinet in order to manage them with JusticeWeb. So I'm going to add a document here. We're going to add a police car video. Remember that one was already set for read-only. I don't have any real police car videos, so I'm just going to grab a JPEG of Yogi the Bear off my desktop. The filing cabinet can hold any files, any file types that you have on your computer. So Yogi the Bear, I'm going to hit save. So now we have the Yogi the Bear file in here. And remember, this one is read-only. So, and pictures, you know, they're pretty much always read-only. But since this one is marked as read-only, we can put it into a discovery packet. If we add one that is not read-only, such as mugshot, so here's Yogi again. Mugshot is not read-only, and so it will not allow us to put that into a discovery packet. So let's open up another view here. It's called the Discovery Packet view. This is the view that you can use to create discovery packets. So I'm going to click on Discovery Packets. Now we've got two views open. We have our tab details view and we have our Discovery Packets view. And if you find that you're making discovery packets pretty frequently, you can actually take this snap-in and stick it into your tab details view. And that would be done either by someone in your office that knows how to create new screens, or you can just call into support and we can help put the discovery packet snap-in into your tab details view. So in our discovery packet view, let's go ahead and create a discovery packet, and let's talk about the columns we have here. Our document types are those two file packet types that we set up in system administration. So if you recall, the first prerequisite was to make a file packet. These are the two options we have, either a discovery packet or a medical packet. So we're going to pick discovery packet. We give it a title, so we can say this is Yogi's, like Yoda, Yogi's police video. You can select compression. So this means if you want it to be password protected and encrypted. We're going to leave these ones unencrypted for now, but we will make one that is compressed so that you can see how that works. Request type, activation date, and expiration date all have to do with JusticeWeb. So we will get into that after we finish talking about discovery from a JustWare standpoint. So we have a Yogi's police video. Down here below, before we hit save, we need to select the files that need to go into this discovery packet. So when I click down here, notice my list of documents from my filing cabinet has been populated. And if you recognize, we actually had two files in our filing cabinet, the mugshot and the police car video. The only ones that are going to show down here under file selection are the ones that are read-only. So because police car video is marked as read-only, we can select this one to go into our discovery packet. This authorized name snap-in comes into play when we are using JusticiWeb, so we will talk about this when we start talking about JusticiWeb in just a minute. So now we've selected a file to go into our discovery packet. We've given it a name. I'm going to hit save. And what that's doing is it's creating me a discovery packet. So the save was successful, so I'm going to go back to my filing cabinet here. I'm going to hit refresh. And notice we actually have another file in here called discovery packet. It's our Yogi's police video. It's a zip file. So what it did is it took all of the files that we selected in the discovery packet and it zipped them up into one nice package that we can now send off as discovery. So we have our police video here. If you notice, if I try to delete the video or the discovery packet, notice it doesn't let me delete this from our filing cabinet. It also doesn't let me delete anything that is in the discovery packet from our filing cabinet. So how do we manage these once they've been created? You need to manage them from the discovery packet view. So if I delete it here, it'll actually let me delete it. Same thing goes for files that are part of a discovery packet. So if I try to delete this file that is inside a discovery packet, notice it says cannot delete files that are part of a file packet. And that is because there's files already in a discovery packet. So we don't want to delete those files if we have discovery related to it. But like I mentioned, if you delete the discovery, all of that, all those options then become available again. So let's talk now about managing our discovery. So we discussed before, sometimes people burn CDs or DVDs or they send letters out. If you don't have JusticiWeb, once you create a discovery packet, your real only way of eDiscovery is to use an email option. So you can send it to Outlook as an attachment. And I don't even think my Outlook is open, so let's see if it opens up here. Here it goes. Alright, so my Outlook opened up. So it automatically populated the subject with my case title. It attached my video, and Outlook automatically put my signature on here. So this is one way of doing eDiscovery right from the filing cabinet in JustWare. You create your discovery packet and then you send it off via email or any other method. If you still need to burn it to a CD. If you still need to burn it to a CD, you can do that by sending the file to your computer. So if you notice I select send to, I can save this to my desktop. So now I have my police car video on my desktop. Oops, I don't think it's refreshed here. There it is. Yogi's police video. So here's my file packet. So that's creating discovery packets in JustWare and sending them out as eDiscovery. Alright, let's start talking about JusticiWeb. JusticiWeb gives you a whole nother side of discovery, which is allowing people to log in to JusticiWeb, see cases that they're involved in, and download discovery that they need to download. The nice thing about JusticiWeb is it keeps track of when those downloads have happened. If they haven't happened, you can set up different workflows that allow you to make reports and things saying, oh, this is a day before court and they still haven't downloaded their discovery, or automatically sending out emails based on when discovery is available. So let's take a quick look at JusticiWeb here. This is the main page of JusticiWeb. And as I mentioned at the start of this webinar, it's highly configurable. So all of this text on here, all these buttons you see around, are all configurable, whether or not you want to see them, what you want their functionality to be. And I'm going to log in. And notice the only case I am active on is the Yogi the Bear case, and it shows that I am the prosecuting attorney. When you set up JusticiWeb, you set up who you want to be able to see what cases. So I've set mine up to say, if I am a prosecuting attorney on a case and I log into JusticiWeb, I want to be able to see those cases. So we can see, Yogi the Bear's case here. We currently don't have anything to download because we haven't set up anything on the case to download yet. So let's go back into JustWare and let's look at our discovery packet again. Alright, so here's our discovery packet. So the first thing that you need to do in order to get this to link to JusticiWeb is to connect your discovery packet to a request type. Notice I have one request type I've created called JusticiWeb Discovery, and you set up these requests through JusticiWeb configuration to download discovery, and you can set up multiple request types. So let's say we want prosecuting attorneys to be able to download discovery packets, but we don't want police officers to be able to download discovery packets, but we do want police officers to be able to download police reports. We could create two different request types, one for prosecuting attorneys and one for police officers, so that when I log in as a prosecuting attorney, I only see the downloads that I should be downloading. Police officers can log in and only see downloads that they're supposed to be downloading, etc. So it's all based on case involvement, and you can set up the permissions to be, if you're involved as this person, you can do this on a case, but you can't do that. So my request type that I've created here is JusticiWeb Discovery. I'm going to click on that. We have an activation date and an expiration date. So if I want this to be active today, I can just hit the space bar. If I want it to be, if I want it to expire, I can add an expiration date saying this is only available for 1 day. A couple agencies that are using this will default these dates. So when you create a discovery packet, those dates are automatically populated, saying today is the day it's available and it expires 2 weeks from today. When a discovery packet is created, automatically email the prosecuting attorney telling them that they have discovery available to download on JusticiWeb. So you can see that there could be a lot of different workflows that you can automate when a discovery packet is created to make it available, make it unavailable after a certain period of time, send off notifications, etc. I'm going to save this. So now I have a discovery packet that is active today and expires tomorrow. So if I come into my case in JusticiWeb and I hit refresh, notice I now have a download available, and it's Yogi's police video. Notice it says it's free, so I have not assigned any pricing to this discovery packet. You have the option to assign pricing to specific document types as well as requests, and I will get into that in just a second. So let's click on Yogi's police video and see what happens here. And you can set up the workflow for this. You can set this up to prompt you to have to accept terms and conditions for downloading discovery. Here we go. I am going to save this to my desktop. Oh, and I already have one on there, so yes, I will. I'll call this number 2. Alright, so now I've saved this to my desktop. So now if I refresh this here, notice it doesn't say it's free anymore, but I can still download it. This relates back to authorized names. So, since I downloaded the discovery packet, it automatically added me as an authorized name. I am Mr. Attorney. It added me as an authorized name to this discovery packet. So by downloading it, I am now an authorized name. In order to be an authorized name, you need to either buy the discovery packet if it costs money in order to download it. You can be pre-authorized, which would be by someone in the agency saying this person is now available to download it. That means that if it costs money but the attorney has paid already, or if it's a particular discovery packet that's not supposed to be charged, you can pre-authorize someone by adding their authorized name, and it will let them download it. Or you can create your own authorization process, as I discussed a little bit earlier, which is accepting terms and conditions. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to delete him off as an authorized person. If I come back here, notice it's going to say free again because I am not currently authorized, so I have to be authorized by clicking to download the discovery packet. But we're actually going to add, through JusticiWeb configuration, the terms and conditions that they need to accept in order to download a discovery packet. So I clicked on JusticiWeb. We have our request management, and I'm not going to go into a lot of how this is set up. We will be doing a future webinar about JusticiWeb system administration, so hold tight for that one. So here's all of our requests, and here's my JusticiWeb discovery request. I'm going to add a page on here, and I have one called Discovery Download. I believe this is the one we want, that they have to submit in order to download the discovery packet. So this is a page that will pop up and give them download language. So I'm going to save that. If I come back into JusticiWeb, notice it says free and input is required. So if I click on it, now my page pops up here. And notice this page has been pre-configured to have some terms and conditions that you must accept in order to download the discovery. So if I click on Submit Request here, it gives me a summary that you can enable or disable if you want. And notice the free input required has gone away. And once again, I am authorized to download this discovery. So authorized names gives you a pathway that you send them through in order to be authorized to download the discovery, whether it be paying for the discovery or if it is just accepting terms and conditions, whatever you want to do in order to authorize them to download the discovery. And as I mentioned earlier, you can set that up in advance. So if you want to automatically authorize someone so they don't have to accept anything or pay anything, you can add them as an authorized name directly through here. Let's go ahead and talk about compression for a second, and then we'll dive into pricing while I'm on this page. So let's create a new discovery packet, and this time we'll just call this compressed file. This time let's give it a compression type of AES-256. This one tends to be really standard when it comes to encrypting documents. So I'm going to make this one encrypted. We're going to make it available via JusticiWeb, and we'll give it a activation date of today. Let's say that this one doesn't expire, so I'm just going to save it with no expiration. Oh, and I didn't select any files. That'd be kind of funny to have a packet without anything in it. Let's add a file, so we'll add the same police car video because that's the only one we have. Alright, so now we have two discovery packets, and this one is encrypted. Notice this key field automatically got filled in when we saved the packet. This key is the password that's required to extract the files from the zip file. And Windows has a native functionality to unzip files, but it doesn't have native ability to unzip compressed or encrypted files. So you'll have to use a third-party program such as 7-zip or WinRAR. There's a whole plethora of them out there, and if you're not very familiar with them, feel free to contact your IT department or contact us at New Dawn. But this key is required. If we come out here to JusticiWeb and then we hit refresh here, notice we have our compressed file and input is required. So I'm going to click on compressed. I'm going to accept the terms and conditions, hit OK. Now I am authorized. I have authorized myself to download this discovery packet, and the key is present here. So when I download the discovery onto my computer, I will need this key in order to take the files out. So I'm going to save my compressed file onto my desktop. I'm going to copy my key Now when I come to my desktop here, here's my compressed file. If I try to take the file out using Windows unzipping, notice it won't let you because of its compression. So I have a program on here called WinRAR. So I'm going to say extract here using WinRAR. And I already have Yogi on here, so I guess I'll just rename it, calling it Yogi 2. And notice it's asking for my password. So that's where the key comes in. So if I paste the key from JusticiWeb, I can now get the file out of my discovery packet. And my screen never refreshes here for some reason. So now I've got Yogi and Yogi 2. So the nice thing about that is this packet is now, this compressed file is now protected by that password. So if this file, for some reason, if someone comes and takes this file off of my computer or takes it somewhere, if I've made it available on a disk or something, they still can't get the files out of there because of the password protection. So you have to have a login to JusticiWeb in order to know what the key is. And then obviously you know what the key is as well from a JustWare standpoint. So that's a quick overview of how the encryption works for discovery packets. Pretty straightforward. Like I mentioned, there is a need for third-party software. Most of it is free in order to unzip those compressed files. Alright, let's talk about pricing and how pricing works with discovery packets. The first thing you can do is make a request have a price related to it. So what I mean by that is any of these buttons that are in JusticiWeb are all called requests, and you can link a price to a request. So if we want there to be a base price for a discovery, let's say $5 anytime you're going to be making that request, and that sounds pricey, I know, then you can add a $5 base fine, or base fee I should say, for that request. So in my JusticiWeb System Administration, if I scroll over to the right here, notice we have a few financial options here. So I can say I want this to be a non-collectible type of JusticiWeb payment. That's how we track JusticiWeb payments. We'll say it's a $5 base price. Online payment fees, we'll talk about that in a second, but that's basically, well, I guess we can talk about it now. You can set up taxes, you can set up any percentage fees that go on top of whatever the total is. So if they have, $10 in there and you have a 10% tax, it'll automatically figure that the tax needs to be taken out as well. So you can add those as well. So I'm going to just save that with JusticiWeb, $5 base fee for discovery. If we come back into JusticiWeb here, these ones are already authorized, so that's why let's just add one to one of these other request types here, since these ones were authorized on both of these. So let's say anytime you want to request audio through JusticiWeb, you have to pay $5. Here we go. So it shows it costs $5, and it brings up a payment screen that you have to go through in order to pay for the request. So anything that you click on here can have a base fee associated with it. When it comes to document pricing, you can actually get a lot more elaborate. So let's talk about document pricing for a second here. The way you access document pricing is through System Administration, Code Tables, JDA Applications and Documents, and we have document pricing rules. And we have been dealing with police car videos today, so let's create a document pricing rule for police car videos. So price per unit, let's say police car videos are $1 each. Police car video. So this is the rule that we're setting up here. So this is our document pricing rule. We're calling this the police car video rule, basically, dollar per police car video. Down here below, we select which files in our filing cabinet are in our police car video rule. So we'll say anything that has the type of police car video. So if I select police car video here, anything with the type of police car video, and you can say anyone that's involved as prosecuting attorney or police officer, or however you want to set up your pricing rule. So we say the rule is police car videos that includes the document type of police car video and for involvements of prosecuting attorney. If I save that now and I add another police car video discovery packet, let's do that here. So we'll call this our paid discovery. We will add our file. Now if I come into JusticiWeb, you can see that I have paid discovery. It's $6 because remember we added a $5 base fee in order to download this discovery packet. So in order for me to be authorized to download this discovery packet, I have to pay $6. And it gives me the same verbiage that we did before. Says that it costs $6 to download this discovery. I'm not going to go through the whole payment process here. I don't know if mine is completely set up, but there's a couple payment providers that we offer. One is Mercury Payments to put in credit card information and submit a payment. So that's how you can become authorized to download a discovery packet using those document pricing rules. So it knew because I put a police car video in my discovery packet that costs $1 for a police car video. If I had two police car videos in here, it would have cost $2, etc. So document pricing rules are pretty powerful in that you can create a couple of different rules depending on involvements for documents to cost different fines and fees. So if you have people that aren't supposed to be paying, you can set up their involvements on here to not be paying, whereas other people outside the agency or people that should be paying for discovery will be paying. So it's pretty flexible in terms of setting up your pricing for discovery and documents in general. Let's talk about the final piece here. So remember I said that we'd get back to talking about mugshots, not because mugshots are special, but I've set it up in a way where mugshots are not read-only. So remember, we've not been able to put mugshots into our discovery packets. What if we want to make mugshots available through JusticiWeb, even though we can't add them to a discovery packet because it is not read-only? We actually have the option to make any file from the filing cabinet available through JusticiWeb, and that is through a view called Online Documents. I'm going to go ahead and click on Online Documents here. Notice Online Documents looks similar to our discovery packet view, except it has no packet creation. So you're not actually creating packets, you're basically just selecting documents that you want to make available online. So, and as I mentioned before with discovery packets, you could put this view in with your other views. So you don't have to have multiple views like we have here with, discovery packets, online documents, and tab details. If you want to put online documents into tab details, we can do that. Okay, so the first thing you do to add a document, such as a mugshot online, is hit the plus. And it gives you all the options that you have from your filing cabinet. So notice we have both of our filing cabinet documents here. We have our mugshot and our police car video. So we haven't been able to make our mugshot available previously because it's not a read-only document. But we can make it available directly through JusticiWeb, through this Online Documents view. Just like before with discovery packets, we have to link it to a request type. So I'm going to make this available. Notice it doesn't have an activation date or an expiration date. So we just make this available or unavailable based on this online documents view. And I am going to authorize. Just like before, if you authorize them or don't authorize them, you can send your users through a way of authorizing themselves. So I'm going to authorize myself just in case this one has document pricing associated with it. Hit save. So if I come out here to my JusticeWeb, now I have the Yogi file. Notice it called it yogi2.jpg because it just gave me the exact name of our file from the filing cabinet. So we were able to make this download available without creating a discovery packet. If you want to change the name of your online document, you actually have the option here to change the display name. So I can change this to Yogi Mugshot if I want, just to make it more user-friendly for anyone out there in JusticeWeb that may not know what Yogi 2 is. If I refresh that, now it actually changes the name to what I made my display name to be, Yogi Mugshot. So this is nice in situations where you don't want to go through the process of making a discovery packet. You just want to make files available quickly online through JusticeWeb. And when I say quickly, we do actually have a business rule result that will make documents available online automatically. So let me demonstrate that real quick here. What I did is I created just a really simple business rule. I'm going to come to my business rules manager here and activate it. And just like any business rule, you can set up your business rule to fire off anytime you want. So the way I created my business rule is anytime I add a mugshot document type to my filing cabinet, it will automatically make that document available through JusticeWeb. You can make your workflow to be however you want. So if you add, let's say you have mugshots and police car videos in your filing cabinet already, and you want them to be available when a certain event happens, you can create a business rule that says when the event happens, make those files available through JusticeWeb. Or when a certain status happens, when the case status gets changed to discovery, or when an attribute is added, or when, you know how business rules work. Anything that you can really dream up in terms of firing off the business rule to then make those files available through JusticeWeb. So I'm going to activate my business rule that I created. The one I created basically says anytime I create a mugshot file in my filing cabinet, add that file to my online document snap-in. So I'm going to put these together here, kind of organize myself. This is something new in 5.10 in terms of dragging your sessions around. Alright, so we have our tab details view here with our mugshot. I'm going to delete the mugshot. Let's clean up after ourselves a little bit here. Delete my mugshot, which then should take away, here we go, our online document. So now the mugshot should not be available online. Yep, so now we just have our standard zip file discovery packets available. So when I come to my case now and add a mugshot, Yogi the Bear here, and hit save, the business rule should fire off and add a row in our online document. So if I hit refresh here, there we go. It automatically added a row saying that, you know, Yogi is available online. Come to JusticeWeb here, and just like we expected, notice there is that document pricing rule still associated with this request. Let's create a request type that is a little bit different, that doesn't cost any money. So let's say anytime we make files available this way, they don't cost $5. Come to JusticeWeb System Administration. I'm going to add a new request type. We'll call this free files, just for sake of demonstration. So now we have two download requests, one that's JusteceWeb Discovery and one is free files. In my business rule, I've set this up to link to JusteceWeb Discovery, so let's link it to free files. So now when I create a mugshot, let's create another one here. Yogi's got lots of mugshots and stuff out here. I highly doubt you'll be discovering mugshots, but just for the sake of demonstration here, hit save. That should fire off our business rule that will make a row in our online documents. There it goes. And notice now it's using our new request of free files, which shouldn't cost any money. If I hit refresh here, now we have Yogi and Yogi free. So this is our free file that we have created. And you saw how quick that was. It was probably a little bit too quick. But setting up things through JusteceWeb is fairly quick. You saw how easy it was to assign pricing, to manipulate your pricing, create requests, manage your requests. And that business rule, I didn't show you how I created that business rule, but that business rule was really easy to create. So it was based off of adding a file to the filing cabinet. So that basically concludes the demonstrations I wanted to show today. Let me just recap. I know I talked about a lot of different things. The first thing I discussed today was how to create discovery packets in JustWare. So the prerequisites for that is add a file packet type to your system administration and make read-only documents so that you can put those in your discovery. You create your discovery using a discovery packets view. So here's our discovery packet view. And then you can send those discovery packets off using email, or you can save them to your computer and make them discoverable however you want that way. Through JusteceWeb, you create requests that you link to your discovery packets, and those requests are case involvement specific, so you can make it very configured depending on who's logging in and who needs to download what. You can add pricing to your discovery, so certain documents cost certain prices. Some people pay one price, other people don't pay. That's all very configurable. And the last thing we discussed was creating online documents, which are any files that you have in your filing cabinet. You can make available online through JusteceWeb, and you can add pricing to those, or you can, keep them free depending on how you want. And we do also have a business rule, which I demonstrated pretty quickly there, a result that allows you to quickly make online documents available. So anytime something happens in JustWare, a document becomes available online. So that concludes this webinar. I hope it was somewhat useful, and I hope that it has spurred questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to chat them online or email us at Newdawn, support@newdawn.com. So thank you for participating today, and I hope to hear from you in the future.